Hello, my name is Paul Burke. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the Northern Territory Farmers Association. Thanks very much for joining us today. I'd like to introduce our new series of webinars, which is Growing Our Territory. The purpose of these is to try and stay engaged with our membership and to all of the producers out there, irrespective of what sector they come from. At the moment, during COVID-19, it's important that the entire agricultural and regional communities come together with one voice, and we're really committed to working with all of the different industry sectors to ensure that happens. Over the next 10 weeks, we've got a series of webinars planned called Growing Our Territory. Next week, we'll be looking at top tips for navigating COVID-19. We hope to have the Minister for Primary Industries and Resources, the Honourable Paul Kirby. We'll have a National Farmers Federation update. We've got Alistair Trier the week after. So we do have a lot going on and a lot of things to convey to you. Down the bottom of the screen, there's a Q&A tab. So if you've got a question today, just type the question in and we'll pick it up here. Once we've finished, we'll compile all of those questions and make sure we get answers to those and circulate those back through to the people that are on the webinar. So today, without further ado, we've got Tim Saul, Head of NBN South Australia and Northern Territory on the line, and I'm sure everyone will agree that it would be difficult for our businesses without strong internet connection. So over to you, Tim. Thanks very much for making the time.
No problem. Look, thank you so much, Paul and NT Farmers, for the opportunity to chat with you all today. I feel like, given it is a webinar and it's a technology-based engagement tool, it's only fitting that NBN is the first presenter. Look, I know it's probably a bold title that I've been given to speak to today, keeping Australia connected, but I do want to talk to you about what NBN is doing to keep people connected at a time when it's really never been more important to connect with each other, but also to tell you what we're doing to help those that might not yet be connected. Again, really grateful for this opportunity. So I do also want to cover how we want to work with NT Farmers and its not just now, but post-COVID-19, and also more broadly regional Australia, well beyond that initial rollout. Now, I just need to work out how to change the slide. Here we go. Beautiful. So look, I guess before I get into the detail, there's this common misconception, not only in the Territory, but around a lot of parts of rural and regional Australia, that people can't get NBN, or that NBN is not available in regional Australia. So I want to just tell you today that's not true. Apart from a few areas in the Darwin rural area, every premises in the Territory can connect, and in fact almost 100,000 can connect, and well over 50,000 are connected today. So if you're not sure if you can connect to NBN, please check on our website, or you can contact us through NT Farmers as well. If you are on a remote station or a remote property and you're not sure, please come back, because I think you'll be surprised that most people in the Territory can now connect. Sorry, my font isn't great here, but what I wanted to talk about was really our network performance. So NBN is experiencing unprecedented demand on its network at the moment as more people are forced to stay at home. But I want to assure people that the network is still performing very strongly. As you would expect, we've seen big increases in data use, about 20 to 30% looking at across the day as a whole. But during that middle of the day, I guess those standard business hours, we're seeing data usage increase by up to 75% as people are working from home, and homeschooling is really kicking off or growing as well. So to cater for this increase, NBN has provisioned 40% more capacity across all of its network and all of its technologies. No matter where someone lives, there's extra capacity to help them do what they need to do online. And of course, that's been made available at no charge to our service providers. Moving on, I know a lot of people on this call may be watching us via Sky Muster, which is our NBN satellite technology. There might be others listening in on other technologies who can connect to Sky Muster but have chosen not to. You might have heard something about the technology. Also, you might not know it's available. What I want to talk to you about here is that the satellite product, NBN satellite product, has evolved significantly, not only over the past few years, but in the past couple of months. The service is performing better than it ever has before, and it's got a level of assurance that's in line, if not ahead, of all the city NBN structures. A few initiatives we've introduced during COVID to help people who might be on satellite is that we've provisioned an extra 45 gigabytes of data per month at no additional charge. So NBN is a wholesaler, so we provide that to our retailer, and then they pass that on to you, the end user. Really exciting development is Sky Muster Plus. So for those of you listening who may have been on a satellite plan and gone over your monthly allowance, Sky Muster Plus means that almost any application that you use in the home, apart from your streaming video, so your Netflix or your YouTube, will be what we call unmetered. So it won't count towards your data allowance. So if you're doing web browsing, email, software updates, just the general things you need to keep your business going, they don't count towards your data allowance. But also applications like VoIP calling, Wi-Fi calling, Zoom, which we're on at the moment, this won't be counting towards your data allowance. Social media applications like Skype and FaceTime. So the product is evolving, and I don't know if any of you saw Landline on the weekend, but you would have seen Christy Sparrow from Better Internet for Regional, Rural and Remote Australia. Been a great champion for Sky Muster. She certainly lets us know when we don't get it right, but you know, great testimonials for her. She's using more data than she ever has before, and that group has been a big driver as to why the product has developed so well. We've also got business grade options on satellite. They are more expensive, but we've seen a few big mining companies take those up. So more data, more committed speed, and also non-premises installations. So for the first time ever, we're not tying the installation to a premises. If you need one, you know, 30, 40 Ks away from the homestead, literally at a set of coordinates, we can install a satellite dish there and give you connectivity to that point. So all of this stuff is available on our website, and we'll make it more available via the Farmers platform as well. Without talking about satellite too much more, again, the network is performing well for Sky Muster too. We've seen data use on satellite almost double in the past 6 weeks across the standard Sky Muster product and the Sky Muster Plus product I just spoke about. We've never seen so many activations on the satellite network as we have in recent weeks, and we're just shy of 100,000 Sky Muster installations right across the country. For anyone listening who might be on a different technology, our fixed wireless technology, we've also invested $800 million in that network to reduce congestion, and that project is almost 100% complete. We've also seen orders on the fixed wireless network more than double in the past week. So we are seeing more people gravitate towards the NBN network as they're spending more time at home. A big announcement that NBN made on Friday, if you haven't heard already, is NBN has announced a financial relief package. We've made $150 million available to people who may be experiencing hardship as a result of COVID-19. It's split into 3 key areas. So families who are not connected to NBN, potentially due to financial hardship, but have school-aged children who they need to support with online study. The second area is existing residential and small business customers who are struggling with the finances, maybe due to a reduction in hours or a loss of employment or a loss of market. There's financial relief available there. And also to our telehealth service providers and our emergency and essential services providers who we lean on heavily at a time like this. There's provision for those providers to upgrade their internet speed at no additional charge. So I did mention before that NBN is a wholesaler. So we make this money available to our service providers. So if you are in one of these categories, or if you do know someone who is struggling with connectivity as a result of COVID-19, please encourage them to call their service provider and see what support's available. We expect that most of the NBN service providers will announce their offers next week, and we'll be socialising that with the country as soon as it becomes available. Just before I wrap up, there's also a tendency for people to blame NBN when maybe the internet's not working as well as you'd hoped it would be. Please remember there is three elements, or there is three factors. There is the NBN network, absolutely. There's also your service provider's network, the one that bill you for your monthly service, the one you pay for customer support. There's also the equipment in your home. So I just wanted to give you a few tips to consider. I guess when you are working at home or schooling from home, first one, the big one, is making sure you're on the right plan. So if you are, for example, on our Sky Muster satellite product and you're running out of data, speak to your service provider about upgrading to Sky Muster Plus. You will see your data stretch a lot further for a small incremental cost. We also know that your equipment in your home, especially where you place your modem, can impact. So if your modem's at one end of the house and you're working at the other end of the house, that can impact your signal. If you're asking your modem to send a signal through, heavy sandstone walls or through an area where you've got a lot of electrical appliances or a wet area, that can also impact the signal. So consider where you're working from and the proximity of your modem to that. Also, the age of the equipment in your home. So I still get people say to me that their computer loads slowly because of the NBN network. It's more because the computer's 10, 12 years old. So if you've got really old equipment and you're trying to do modern technology applications, then maybe it's time to think about upgrading some of that equipment. Obviously, we've got some good pointers on our website here, nbn.com.au. But also speak to your service provider, or if you're running a big business and you have someone who manages the IT for you, speak to them. If you're not getting what you're paying for, or if your service isn't performing, don't just put up with it. Make sure you talk to someone about it and get it fixed. Okay, and just before I wrap up, a couple of great announcements, I guess, that NBN has made recently. So we've just developed a new business unit called Regional Development and Engagement. It is dedicated specifically to regional Australia. So I think for so long, NBN has been focused on building the network, connecting 8 million premises right across this country. But what's equally as important, if not more important now, is that people get the most out of this technology for an economic benefit and also social benefit. And I don't think this is anywhere, I don't think there's anywhere more important than regional Australia, where we want to see this come to the fore. So what regional development and engagement means is, apart from all the technical sides of the business coming into one business unit, it means we've got more people on the ground, more community relations professionals who can work with community and stakeholders like NT Farmers to lift the digital capability of Australia, improve customer experience, identify issues and bring them back into the business. Work with our stakeholders to understand what you need from technology and how we can help deliver that. And also to generate awareness about the social and economic benefits that fast internet can bring. And what's even more exciting from a territory perspective is we've just had 2 new people start this week. One, Tiani Don't, has started based in Darwin as the NBN local manager for the territory. So for the first time in its 11-year history, NBN now has someone in the territory beyond our field teams. So someone to work with organisations like NT Farmers to make sure its members get the most out of the NBN network. We've also appointed a head of segment, agriculture. So someone to work with the agriculture industry specifically right across the country to make sure that we're supporting that segment of this country. So I think 2 really important roles to the NT and to this demographic, and more to come in the next few months. So where do we leave it today? I guess, look, we're really committed to working with NT Farmers and its members, like I said, to help grow the regional economy of the territory, but also improve the social wellbeing of Territorians. Okay, what we want to do is is really work with farmers and its members. We want to hear from you. We want to hear from you a lot more. We want to be available to you a lot more. So whether that's online forums like this, whether that's roundtable discussions in person, we want to know what are the issues, what are your concerns, what are your barriers to entry. We want to make technology solutions. So we want to partner with service providers, with technology providers to make farming solutions more accessible to you. We want to make sure there's consistency across the market, whether it's mobile connectivity, satellite connectivity, another form of NBN. We just want to make sure that the end user has the best possible product and gets the most out of the technology. I think we hear a lot of talk about smart farms, but we know there's more to technology than that. We know that connectivity is super important for worker attraction and retention. I know people, rely on people working on stations and farms to support the operation, and if those people can't connect to basic social media, I know they feel isolated quickly, and it makes your life more difficult. So we certainly want to talk about smart farming and how technology can enable that, but we know it's more than that. We want to hear that from you. The exciting part for me as well is we want to showcase some success stories from the territory. So I want to work with farmers and its members. If any of you out there are doing something clever with the technology, whether it's mobile or whether it's NBN, you can probably see there on your screen, Manbaloo Mango Farms. We did a story with them last year about what technology has enabled their business to do. So that's a national story that we use right across the country to showcase what NBN can do for farming. So I would love to feature more of those stories with from the territory. So if there is opportunity, it'd be great to hear from you, whether it's via farmers or contacting me direct. We want to showcase what the territory is doing. So yeah, look, really in summary, we're not going anywhere. We're going to finish the network build in June, but we're here for the long haul. The more important task now is helping everyone in this country. My focus is the territory, making sure people get the most out of this technology. So we want to hear from you. We want to work with you. We want you to get the most out of this network. So Paul, look, thank you again for the opportunity. Really look forward to a strong working relationship with farmers and its members, and obviously happy to take any questions now that might be coming in.
Thanks, Tim, and that's great news. Having some dedicated resources in the territory to assist growers, and if anyone does need to contact them, please come through me. Farmers to you, and I can help. So for anyone listening today, please reach out to me. I've got a question here, Tim, from Robin in Darwin River, which is just outside of Darwin. And she's been told that she can't connect to the NBN. Who does she contact to actually work out whether that's right?
Yeah. So look, Robin, thanks for your question. Look, certainly the first port of call would be the NBN website. So if you go to nbn.com.au, the first thing you will see on that website is a check your address bar. You type your address in there and click search, and it'll straight away tell you if you can connect. If you can connect, it'll tell you who you need to contact. If you can't yet connect, it'll tell you when you'll be able to and what you need to do at that time. Okay, but again, for people on this webinar, happy, Paul, for them to come to you with their address, and you can connect them directly with me. I'm happy to work directly with Robin, but the NBN website, you can't miss the check your address bar. So that's your gospel for whether you can connect to NBN or not.
Thanks, Tim. And I've got another one here around mobile stations. So you talked about you could have a temporary connection or a connection 45 or 50 kilometres away from the homestead. Is there any application for the movable with mango picking or mustering that groups are in a different place every day? Is there any applications to deal with that?
Yeah, look, absolutely, that's something we want to be doing more of. So you hear people talk about mesh networks, so where we take the connectivity from the farm or the homestead, or like I've said, the point in the property. So yes, in short, that those products are in development. I guess NBN is only the enabler. So NBN brings the connection to a point, whether that's the house, whether that's the set of coordinates. NBN will get your connectivity there. That's where you need a service provider or an IT provider to pick up that signal and help distribute it across the farm. We know that's not an easy thing for people to branch into. So that's going to be a big role of this agriculture lead that we've set up, is to be working with industry and working with service providers, so that when we get asked that question, I don't just have to say, well, NBN will deliver the connection to wherever you want it, then you can take it from there. We want to be developing bespoke products, okay? And we want to be able to say, we want to be able to connect you with technology providers. But certainly that is the dream, you know, that we can, from NBN connection to a point, a farmer or a producer will be able to distribute that signal to far ranges of their property to provide real-time information.
Thanks, Tim. And sorry, if people struggling to hear this down in Central Australia or in the chat channel. If anyone else has got any other questions, please email them through to me. We look forward to having you back next week. This is obviously the first time we've done this, so we'll continue to try and refine, especially the sound if you're having problems hearing me. Please jump onto the NT Farmers Facebook page, send me an email at ceo@ntfarmers.org.au. Any ideas for future webinars, any questions, Tim, thanks very much for launching our series. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Paul. Thanks to everyone listening out there. And if you didn't get your question answered today, we will definitely come back to you. Sorry, Paul, I know you just wrapped up. I did see a couple of questions in the Q&A down here. Someone has asked if agriculture includes the seafood industry. Look, NBN wants to work with every industry. So whether it fits into a nice, agriculture term, there'll be a segment at NBN that's going to work with that industry. So in short, yes. I've had another couple of questions here about troubleshooting, I guess. Again, I can't encourage people enough, if there is a problem with the service, whether it's dropping out, whether it's slow at some parts of the day, we really encourage you to get in touch with your service provider and raise that with them. They can then contact NBN if they think it's our problem, or they can fix it themselves. And again, if people are having specific issues, happy for them to come direct to you, Paul, with those contact details you provided. Send them on to me and we'll try and help out.
Thanks, Tim. Thank you, everyone. And look forward to tuning in next week.
Thanks, Paul. See you, everyone.